feeling a little bit helpless not being at the courthouse, but John did call and give me an update on lunch. Feeling pretty frustrated right now. Quick update here on Judge Jones. John did already update on this, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it just for anybody who did not see his live stream. Judge Jones testified on behalf of the prosecution, and after testifying on behalf of the prosecution, Gabriel Knight instructed him to go visit Dwayne Strzok and ask him questions after they learned that he would be one of the witnesses. He intimidated him to testify that Ammon Bundy would be seen as the leader, and Agent Jones also put pressure on Dwayne to testify that he saw guns he did not see at the refuge. He went there on behalf of the prosecution, Ethan Knight. Would the prosecution tolerate the defense sending somebody to one of the prosecution's home, one of the witnesses' homes, and pressuring them to testify a certain way, or would they be called into account for witness tampering? They would be called into account so quickly, it would be the first thing that this corrupt kangaroo court would address the next day, would be what the defense did. And when Ryan tried to bring to light the severity of what Agent Jones did, there's so many agent, judge, and titles. Judge Brown silenced him, saying that he has questioned this witness enough and his time was done and he was to sit down. This agent intimidated one of their witnesses, and Ryan Bundy was told that he had questioned him enough and it was time for him to sit down. So the other thing is that John Killman has been identified as an informant. I think I have 54 or 84 mutual friends to him. Guys, clean up your friends lists, okay? If you learn of somebody being an informant, reporting information back for the government, you know, you can say all day you're friends with him just so that you can spy on him, but keep in mind that means he's spying on you too, and being able to access your friends list and things that may have not been public. And what you have to understand is that when these infiltrators get into your friends lists and they follow you that way, they don't have to get a warrant to get the information off of your Facebook page. So we can do our part to not be paranoid, but when the political prisoners advise us, like they did from day one about Mark McConnell, we could probably just trust them and go with our instincts, and if not, you know, blocking the people, at least removing them as friends and watching them. Any of you think there's something up with me, remove me as a friend or block me. I don't care. So you know what? We're fighting for liberty and freedom for everybody. So we shouldn't be shaming each other to keep people on friends lists if you're uncomfortable. If we're going to do that, then we might as well just say we're not fighting for liberty, we're fighting for a dictatorship, and that's not what we're fighting for. So, you know, if you're uncomfortable with somebody, unfriend them. If you're hearing things that's making you uncomfortable, unfriend them, block them, do whatever you need to do to keep yourself and your family and your friends safe. So John Killman has been identified as an informant. We don't know his real name. He has 2 accounts. Go ahead and search his name. He may not take the stand because it sounds like some of the information he's going to share could be damning to the defense. And so he might not take the stand. So the other part with that is that now any witnesses who take the stand that the defense believes is an informant, the judge is giving them a court-appointed attorney to meet with before they take the stand. Isn't that nice of her? She didn't offer that to Matthew, who was at the refuge. She didn't offer that to Brand, who was at the refuge, but she is now offering that to any future witnesses for today that the defense tries to call. So apparently John Killman got to meet with a court-appointed attorney, and then before the judge would say whether or not he could take the stand, the judge paused the trial, sent the jury out, and went in the back and met with these attorneys to try and decide if he should, sorry, I shut my phone off, to decide if he should or should not take the stand. The judge is meeting with the informant's attorneys to decide if she should let him take the stand. This is an absolute joke. This is a kangaroo court. This is a complete joke. They have not only been controlling what witnesses for the defense come to the stand, but they control the narrative that they're allowed to discuss. Now the judge is trying to protect the informants. This is why you can't go to court in a federal court case and have a federal judge be presiding over it, because she will always look out for the best interest. Facebook, stop shutting down my videos. Quit silencing us. It's getting really old, and all you're doing is upsetting more and more people, so knock it off. Sorry, Facebook just randomly shuts my live videos down. This isn't anything new. So the last point that I wanted to make before Facebook so rudely shut my live stream down is that Agent Lapp, L-A-P, testified weeks ago for the prosecution, and the defense cross-examined him and asked him if Mark McConnell was the only informant who stayed at the refuge. Agent Lapp said yes. This is before Terry Linnell was subpoenaed and found out about. He said yes, Mark McConnell was the only informant to stay at the refuge, and he said, quote, all other informants stayed in the town of Burns and traveled to and from delivering information at the end of each day to him about what was going on at the refuge. Agent Lapp lied under oath. He deceived the defense, making them believe that anybody else they called to the stand that had stayed at the refuge would in fact not be an agent or an informant, because he himself said that none of his informants, he was the one in charge of all the informants, so he would have known Terry Linnell was reporting back to him, and instead of answering honestly, he lied and said no other informants stayed at the refuge. Now we've learned there are 13, at least 13 more, and their names are not going to be disclosed. How many of those 13 stayed at the refuge? How many of these informants, like Mark McConnell, gave false information to the FBI, which allowed them to justify the illegal roadblock and ambush on Highway 395 on January 26th? This information is important, and it's a constitutionally protected amendment that you will be brought before your accusers in court, that there won't be secret courts. People informed the FBI that Ryan Payne, informants reported to the FBI that Ryan Payne was going to do something to Sheriff Ward's family. That was a lie. And had the Oregon State Patrol not slipped up on the stand and outed Mark McConnell, they still wouldn't have known to this day where that information came from. So the fact that there are more informants is important to their case, because it helps them to understand and to bring these witnesses to the stand to testify why they were lying to the FBI, saying that this was a threatening environment, that they were blocking people from coming to work, which they were not doing. These informants that reported this back to the FBI that then justified the ambush need to come to the stand and testify under oath, swearing to tell the truth, where this information came from. So that if the defense has proof that they're lying, whether it was because it was on camera or recordings, then the defense can prove them to be false witnesses on the stand. At this point, there are so many informants, I don't even know if half of the defendant's witnesses who took the stand, if any of them were paid off to make certain statements. There are a few statements that have been made on the stand that didn't make any sense coming from a defense witness. But the defense just started asking today to each witness if they have been paid to give their testimony or for any information regarding Bunkerville or the refuge. That's one other thing. Ryan said that he would ask each witness that today, which he said he has done. He asked Bran Thornton if he has received any payments or information, if he's received any payments for information, and Bran Thornton testified no, he has not. So the judge is realizing that as they call these witnesses to the stand, they're being questioned with more scrutiny, and she's trying to protect them, which is why she's letting them have these self-appointed attorneys or court-appointed attorneys before they take the stand. kidlets are calling me back in. 1 second. So get down right now. So it is a big deal that these witnesses take the stand so that the defense, stop please right now, so that the defense can properly question these people and find out if they are or are not informants. But the judge is going to protect them. She has told Ryan multiple times now to stop talking, to sit down. This is such a joke, you guys. At the beginning of this, I truly believed that as long as they received a jury trial, that they would get a fair shot to present their evidence. I had no idea what a joke of a system this is. It's literally like a movie being played out, where Judge Anna Brown is the director of the film, and she's deciding what will or will not be said, and then it controls the feelings that the viewers have at the